Greetings, Gilliam the Rogue here, back once again with a brief and basic, this time for the Stamina Templar. So the Stamina Templar rotation is pretty standard for Stamina DPS. There's a lot of dots to manage. However, there's going to be a little bit more bar flexibility than with most Stamina builds, mainly because the Stamina Templar doesn't have a lot of class abilities that fit in terms of damage dealing. However, that does not necessarily mean that they're not doing well. In terms of solo performance, their sustain is going to be the hardest part of them to manage. Highly recommend being a red guard. In group, this will help be alleviated by shards and orbs as well as more synergies. However, you're still probably going to have to heavy attack. However, the Stamina Templar has a lot of defensive power built into it as well as group utility, making Stamina Templars fantastic. Arguably the best Stamina DPS in the game in terms of holistic DPS. Again, they're not going to beat out a Stamina Nightblade, but what they bring to the table between a cheap ultimate that procs War Machine and Minor Fracture and Breach on a very high damaging ability makes Stamina Templar fantastic, as well as the fact that they have huge mitigation from Radiant Ward, the other morph of Sunshield, which makes them actually the only Stamina build that is safe enough to run in Asylum Sanctorum. So Stamina Templar, fantastic. They have great AoE DPS. They can do pretty solid single target. They're in a relatively good spot. So what we're going to be doing with this is, since I'm not running War Machine with this, we're not going to run Crescent Sweep, we're going to run Ballista. If you are doing heavy AoE DPS or you are running War Machine, run Crescent Sweep. It is the very cheap ultimate AoE damage. It does more damage than Dawnbreaker of Smiting. Procs Burning Light. Very, very nice ultimate. In terms of what we're going to be doing with this build, since we have the room for it and we don't need healing, we're going to be double barring Trap Beast. If you do need healing or you want to be a little bit tankier, drop Rearming Trap on your back bar and instead run Sunshield or Vigor. We're also going to be running Extended Ritual. We're not going to cast it in a target dummy scenario because there's no need for it, but in a group, you can cast this to give your allies a little bit of healing. Not all that great because we're stamina, but the big thing is the Purify synergy, removing negative effects. You can remove negative effects from yourself. If you want more raw mitigation, I highly suggest running Restoring Focus. It's going to be very, very nice, giving you that major ward and resolve, as well as 8% damage mitigation and healing received. We're not going to be casting that on this bar. If you want to cheese DPS and you are completely fine and your healers don't mind healing you a little bit more than usual, you can also put another Fighter's Guild ability here like Expert Hunter to gain even more weapon damage. However, I don't really like doing that. We do have Flawless Dawnbreaker rank 3, not the end of the world. Don't take this as the end-all be-all DPS. I'm running Bloodthirsty, which generally does not work too well on the Stamina Templar because they have amps to weapon damage and max stamina, as well as an ability that only scales with max stamina. So I generally suggest having one Infused, one Robust, and one Bloodthirsty, if any Bloodthirsty on Stamina Templar. Otherwise, you can do Robust, Infused. Doesn't really matter. The DPS difference is very, very small. Infused is better raw damage. However, Robust is better sustain. Whatever. In terms of this DPS rotation, the only buff that we're going to be managing is Blade Cloak at the beginning, and then we're going to stop casting it because Sustain is a bitch on the Stamina Templar. We're going to have to do heavy attacks, generally one every front bar. We're going to try and not do any on our back bar. Again, we will run Ballista, so we're going to engage with this ultimate. We're also going to make sure we drink this potion down, let this get to about 20 to 30 seconds so we can drink it sooner in combat, get that juicy max stamina or stamina back in the fight. Really will help us stave off having to do heavy attacks sooner. Again, Witch Mothers, or not Witch Mothers, Dubious, Camoran Throne will really help, as well as the fact of being a red guard. If you're Khajiit, good luck, have fun, lots of heavy attacks in your future. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast that Blade Cloak. We're going to go in and do our standard dots, the same thing that we would always do. We're going to immediately apply Power to the Light and Rending Slashes. We're going to try and do 2 Power to the Lights per front bar, and we're going to cast it and bar swap immediately. And then we're going to go onto our back bar and do the same rotation. Front bar, we're going to apply Rending Slashes and then Power the Light. And then we're going to do 1 heavy attack jabs, another heavy attack jabs. We're going to do Trap Beast, and then we're going to do Power the Light. Now we're going to do the same bar. We're not going to cast Trap Beast on that bar now because we've just casted it on our front bar, so there's no need for us to do that. We're going to do another one. We're going to reapply Rending Slashes so it doesn't fall off when we're on our back bar. And then we're going to start doing the same rotation that we do on our front bar. And pretty much static rotation from here on out. We're doing a lot of the same. We'll do a heavy attack. and then we'll do Power of the Light again. Now we're going to cast our Ballista because we get that ultimate. Very, very nice. Make sure we do a poison injection there. Power of the Light. Do some jabs. Reapply our Trap Beast. Heavy attack. Power of the Light. Go to back bar. Endless Hail. Caltrops. Poison injection. Rending Slashes. Power of the Light. A lot of the same with this build. There's not a lot of stuff going on. We're going to do a heavy attack. Power of the Light, get that nice damage off. Again, you want to try and get 2 Power of the Lights every time you're on your front bar. That'll really help your DPS go up quite a bit. Here we're going to... Endless Hail is going to run down a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. We're going to do a Poison Injection. We're going to do Power of the Light, Heavy Attack, Heavy Attack. We're going to cast our Ballista. We're going to do more Heavy Attacks because we're really low on stam. Now we shouldn't have to do any more. We're going to cast Caltrops one last time. Now we're not going to worry about it. Now we're just going to go into execute mode. So we're just going to spam ever-living shit out of jabs. We'll go to our back bar one more time to do a poison injection, Trap Beast, Endless Hail, and now we're just going to spam jabs here. Oh, come on. And we're done. Okay, so we almost hit 45k. Very, very nice for the Stamina Templar because we do not have access to Major Fracture in a solo target situation. We don't have Minor Vulnerability. We don't have Minor Berserk. We don't have a lot of group buffs, and we're really struggling with Sustain. So the fact that we're able to hit this almost 45k is very respectable. I am running a little bit more pen than I'm running Lover and Twin Fang. However, again, we are very, very low penetration. In a group, you're going to want to have things like Alkosh and so on. If you are at pen cap because you have Major Fracture, Alkosh, Infused Torgs, drop Twin Fang and run Advancing Yokeda. You can also run War Machine, and your group will love you for it. So instead of running Reliquant, I would suggest running War Machine and then pairing that again either with Twin Fang or Advancing, depending on what you're trying to do and how comfortable you are with it. So again, Stamina Templar doing very, very well. Look at that delicious 4100 DPS coming from biting jabs, another 1700 coming from Burning Light. I've seen Burning Light do over 2k DPS. I think this is a little unlucky, but again, Stamina Templar, very, very nice. Crazy group utility, incredibly survivable. Its main fault is sustain. So once you find ways to alleviate that, again, Redguard, Dubious Camoran Throne, fitting in a heavy attack here or there, shards or orbs will really help. You'll do fantastic. So I hope this helped you guys figure out what to do with your Stamina Templars and how to adjust to this Somerset update. Hope you guys enjoyed, but I'll see you guys around.